tour commence. Finally on the road. Been planning this one, I'd say, since about 3 or 4 months ago when I got back to the UK. Probably should have done it during the fine summer weather. Now it's definitely autumnal, but I was kind of busy, various things cropping up, and I was waiting on some gear. Anyway, more on gear later. First, we got to ride along this beautiful canal, the Llangollen Canal, and then we'll be following canals and rivers for quite a bit of the day, and then a big old climb up to Hay Bluff awaits us at the end. We are headed to De Cymru, South Wales, from here in Gogledd Cymru, North Wales, with two basic aims in view. Well, firstly, we're going down for the Tour of Britain, the pro stage race, which finishes in Cardiff on Sunday, and I'm marshalling at that, and I've managed to secure a ticket to G. Geraint Thomas, local hero, who's retiring at the end of this race, is putting on a free party for 4,000 people, so very happy to have got a ticket for that. And then part two of the ride, which was the original plan. The Tour of Britain wasn't known about when I first conceived this one. That's an added bonus, but the second part of the tour, we're going to ride from Cardiff to Swansea. These are the two big Welsh cities in the south. And then from Swansea, we take the San Helen, an old Roman road route, which goes all the way up through South Wales, Mid Wales, and back into North Wales, and back home. How long will it take? Not sure, maybe a week or so. Weather forecast good today. Yesterday was grim, so I delayed my departure, but I think today's looking good. Now I'm on the road, I don't even look at the weather because you get what you get. Yeah, so after literally the hottest, driest summer on record ever, I missed the hot, dry spell. Now it's turned autumnal, as I say. Rains have come, but I'm hoping it should be alright. At least tonight it should be dry. And then, as I say, we get what we get. But autumn can be lovely as well, so yeah, I think we're going to have a superb tour. A little branch in the canal here, so we've had to come up and over the roads. Now back to the canal, and then on to, well, probably its most extraordinary feature, the Pont Cysylltu Aqueduct, a bridge made for canal boats. 100 feet or so up in the air, should make for a good shot. Now technically you're not supposed to ride over it, but I'm going to ride over it because there's no one on it. If there's someone on it, then I'll stop and let them pass, but now the school holidays are over, there's no one here. No boats today though, but it really is quite something. We'll just stop at the moment, take in the view. Down the river, other side, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now the next feature on this canal, we're approaching the first one of two very dark tunnels. This one, as you can see, there is light at the end of the tunnel, literally. The second one is much, much longer. I have got a torch, I've got a head torch with me. I can ride through with a torch normally, just got to hope we don't meet anyone. Number two, no light at the end of the tunnel. Well, very vague. So I'll take this one a bit slower, let my eyes adjust to the dark. And safely through, didn't meet anyone. Torch, absolutely hopeless. Think it needs new batteries. Should have checked that before I left. Another aqueduct and a bridge, and this aqueduct takes us from Wales into England. off the canal for a bit and onto the road. We'll do a bit of road. I think we're going to go into Oswestry and then get back onto the canal riverbank and head south. I have ridden this route several times before, including when I did my tour of Wales. I went all the way around Wales maybe 3 years ago, sort of after COVID, and this is the route I took to start with. So I know it's pretty easy the first part, flat-ish, a little bit of hill now, but when we're on the rivers and canals, completely flat, and then a bit climbier towards the end as we leave that route and head for a new area so we can get to the Tour of Britain tomorrow to see the guys racing on the Tumble. The Tumble's a fearsome climb in South Wales, well, fairly fierce, and they'll be going up it twice, so I'm hoping to get up there and just be a spectator tomorrow, and then Sunday, the next day, I'll be marshalling. Literally 5 seconds on the A5. Thank God that's over. And back onto quieter roads. A very small ford. No worries. Here's as good a place as any. And while we're at it, how about a quick I'll go into things in a bit more detail. I know people do like the gear stuff. I might even do a separate video going into all my gear, but the main changes, so I've learned from last year. Last year I rode the Trauserari, literally across Snowdonia, and I've changed a couple of things since then. The main thing is I've got a tent, a new tent. I'm not hammock camping, and I'll explain why later. So that's the main difference. I've got a couple of dry bags, better than trash bags that I had before. Same sort of gear setup, same cooker. Water system is different. I've got a little bag on my back with a water bladder in, because with the frame bag in, it's hard to get bottles in. And last year I had like a big bladder sitting in here, but it kept falling out and slipping around. It was a pain in the ass. So I thought this is a good system. I've got a 1.5 litre bladder in there, cheap. I got it from AliExpress, and the bladder came from Aldi a few weeks ago. I saw one in there, snapped it up. So I've got a drinking tube here, perfect. Very little weight on the back, hardly notice it, and I can get another little bits of gear in there as well. I think I've got, what have I got in there? I've got another water bottle so I can fill up for when I'm camping, and I've got a little bit of food in there as well. And then I've got a decent raincoat, not just a little thin cyclist one, roadies one, a proper raincoat because it could rain. Okay, time for a snack, time for a break. Alright, thank you. Conditions out, it's certainly improving. It's warmed up. Well, it warmed up, but then it just started getting a little bit dark out and spitting a little bit of rain. But now, sun's out, blue skies, decent temperature out, 18, 19 degrees. Perfect, not drinking too much, so don't have to carry too much water. Long may it stay this way. That's pretty much the end of part one. I'm going to be leaving the canal now and heading into the hills, so it's going to be quite a lot more work. We've done 60k, we've got about 60 hilly k to come, including a big climb at the end. Anyway, I'm going to stop and have a bite to eat because it's kind of lunchtime. Still fine out, and then we'll get into the hills. I think I planned this on Komoot, this route, but I didn't really look at it in detail as usual. It's killer. I mean, it's good because it's lots of very small little lanes, no traffic whatsoever, dreadful road surfaces, so very glad I'm on the gravel bike, but some killer climbs. Nearly at the top of this one, a bit more to go, but there's a few till the end of the day. The sod's law of wild camping, when you're not looking for a camp spot, there are just endless options around. Like this woodland's been going on for ages, and this would make a superb place to sleep in a tent or a hammock. Anyway, that's how it goes. So we're going to press on. We've got a few more hours riding to do yet, and then hopefully we find something as equally accommodating as this woodland. Fine weather out there, I'll take that. More climbing, more superb views. Still a ways to go, and we're on a real farm track now. Definite gravel bike territory. Well, Canal was doing so well. Now suddenly it isn't. It sent me up basically. Well, it's pretty, but it sent me up a bad footpath. So I've just been walking and pushing the bike up a very steep hill, and it goes on for a fair bit longer. However, I looked at the road option. The road goes a long way around, so just got to suck it up. Hopefully we'll get back onto a decent trail before too long. It's getting a little bit late in the day. This has turned into more of a marathon than I thought it might, but hey, that's how it goes. Well, we're almost at Hay on Wye, which was my goal for the sim. Well, my goal was to be up there in them Nara Hills, Hay Bluff, but it's nearly 6 o'clock. I've been going for about 10 hours. I'm pretty cooked, and that is a 10k climb, which I think I'll save for the morning when I'll regret it probably. So I'm going to resupply in hay and then find somewhere to camp for the night. That's the plan anyway. I need more water. I've got food for dinner, but I could pick up a couple of things, and then we'll start looking for a place to camp. Well, it looks like we are heading up into the moors, into the hills. I didn't find anywhere suitable to camp. I'm hoping I'll just find a spot up here. It is nearly 7 o'clock, so yeah, nearly 11 hours. Yeah, 140 kilometers. Slow average, 2,500 meters of climbing. It's been a big day, but next 2 days much easier because I'm going to the race, so I can take it a bit easier tomorrow. That's the theory anyway. Well, this is where I'm going to camp. You can just see my bike, but I'm hidden behind these gorse bushes and my tent's really small. I'll show you once I've got it up. Still got a bit of light. We've got an hour or so. I'm about halfway up this killer climb. I am absolutely cooked, but it's a beautiful spot. I've got food, I've got water. Let's get some clothes on, get warm, because it's a little bit chilly up here, and then set up camp. Right, camp set up. Here's my tent. It's called a tar tent. That's what they call it. It's a sort of half tarpaulin, half tent, because you can completely open this up. You can even you can use sticks at the end and lift it up, so it's just sort of covering you, keeping the rain off, but you're completely open, which I like. I don't like big enclosed in a tent, but it's got various configurations you can set it up in. I've just gone for a basic one tonight. Maybe I'll show you those another night. My dinner's on the stove, is cooking. I'd say we've still got 20-30 minutes of light. The sun's just setting, but it's been a superb day. More tomorrow, but I'm going to eat and rest, and yeah, we got a little bit more climbing to do tomorrow. Got to head up there, but then it's down the other side and we'll have a little treat for breakfast. Okay, nighty night. Good morning, it's the next day. It's about 7 a.m. I woke up an hour ago. Bit of a fitful sleep, as can happen first night in a tent, but suddenly it was dawn. It was time to get up. We are now headed over the Gospel Pass, and down into Abergavenny, where we're going to get breakfast in Wetherspoons and charge things up, so that's perfect. And then head to the tumble, the big climb that the Tour of Britain is going over twice today. So that's the plan. It's dry out, it's chilly, it's 9 degrees, but I was warm in the night. Quite a few camper vans up here. We're down from Gospel Pass. There wasn't much to see up there, it was a bit misty, but we're just passing Slantony Priory, which is an ancient, I'm going to guess 12th century, maybe 13th, old monastery. And what's interesting is they used to have a little bed and breakfast here, and I stayed here 30 years ago with a girlfriend of the time when I was still in my 20s. Hard to imagine. Let's go and have a look. I'm testing out a new mount for my camera, so instead of having it on my chest on a magnet pendant, you can see I've got this attached to my helmet. It's not actually new, I've had it since I got the camera. A friend of mine, Jefferson, was always trying to get me to use it and I resisted, but Jeff, I think you were right, but we'll test it out and see how it works. Looks like everyone's in town. I've had my long breakfast, 4 cups of coffee, it's 3 refills. Now I'm heading up to the tumble, the big climb, where the action is going to happen in about an hour or so. And see if I can get up the tumble with this much weight on, but I think I can do it. Excuse me. G's on the road. Do I need to explain again? G Thomas, Geraint Thomas, 17 years of pro, won the Tour de France, Welsh national hero. Bahrain victorious team bus. We're out of the trees now, up onto the moorland, still 2k to go. Got a G mask on the front of the bike, if you can see that. So now I've got G power for the last kilometre. Good day. Nice wheels. Into the finish. Don't think we're going to be able to cross the line, so this is where it'll end for us. Good crowd out. Made it. Woo. Here we go. Last 500 metres. Allez, 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 allez!
Oh, you're not bothered to do it tomorrow.
Just down the road from the race, all the vehicles have gone now. Found a nice little spot. Shame I haven't got my hammock with me, but I don't think I'll be the first person to camp here. And then tomorrow on to Caerphilly, just outside Cardiff, to marshal the final stage of the Tour of Britain. Day's coming to an end. I've got my tent up and I got it in a new configuration. So this is more sort of tarp than tent, so this end's protected. I'm kind of wind's coming from that direction, but then you can open it right out. Used a couple of sticks to raise it up at the end, so you're kind of pretty open. I've got a mesh net inside. I can either have that or not, or I can just be completely out. It'll keep the rain off. If the rain gets too heavy, I'll just have to drop it, get up and drop these sides and zip it up. So I like that. I like that configuration, just being, just sleeping out, but being protected from the rain. Anyway, time to cook up some dinner, and then I'm pretty cooked from not getting a great deal of sleep last night, so I hope I'll sleep well. And then tomorrow, on to the next stage of the Tour of Britain. Day 3, good morning, Borada. Lovely morning out. A little bit breezy, but much milder than yesterday, about 14 degrees I've got on my computer, so it was a much nicer night and morning. Yesterday it was about 9, which was very different. So I could open up my tent and have it in its top tent setup, as you saw in the video, hopefully. Now we're heading up, back up to the top of the climb yesterday, and then down, and we're going to find another Wetherspoons, get another breakfast, charge up again, and wait until marshalling duties at around 2 p.m. Made it. A little bit damp, but I'll dry out in here. Got myself set up, got things charging, ordered breakfast and coffee. 3 hours later, I'm out of the pub. Didn't have anything stronger than coffee, promise you. I'm on my G-Mobile. This is my marshal point. I'll be standing there waving a flag just to ensure that the riders don't go into the street furniture. And then once they're passed, I'll follow the route over Carefully Mountain into Cardiff, where I shall be attending G's farewell party at the castle. And then I'm staying with my Warm Showers host. And Warm Showers is basically couch surfing for cyclists. And people offer a free bed for the night to travelling cyclists like myself. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe a shower. They're nearly here. Cardiff Castle, race is over. I made it into town, found my Warm Showers hosts who were very accommodating. I had a shower, washed my clothes, they're drying them for me, and they're making me dinner later. Anyway, now we're going to head in for G's party, and that's the end of this part of the tour. From tomorrow, we're on the San Helen off-road route. Should be exciting. Join me on today's ride.